Welcome back, guys. Today you find me in my Toyota GR Yaris. Grab a coffee and let's talk about 3 things people don't tell you about German cars, right? Now, whenever I make these videos, a lot of people get offended, say I'm calling out German cars, German car owners. I think my followers and people approach cars in a more rational manner can understand that cars have pluses and minuses, right? And German cars are great. They've got great pluses, but they have their minuses. So let's get into it. Number one thing people don't tell you, money loss, guys. When people buy a new German car, they don't tell you how much of a hit they've taken, and they take a huge hit, guys. A BMW M2, for example, is around 130 to 140,000 Australian dollars, and pretty much immediately, guys, that goes to 110K. Immediately, right? Pretty much immediately. You lose $30,000 pretty much ASAP, and that's the M car, right? That's a premier BMW model. Those things have the BMW S58 motor, the ZF8 gearbox, tried and tested, really good model, desirable, yet still loses insane value. Most people, they either don't spread information, or if you ask them, they spread positive information, which I think is fine, right? No one wants to share their losses. For example, if someone comes up to me at random and said, how are you doing in the stock market? I'm not going to say, oh man, I had a terrible week or whatever. Actually, I might. But, I think that's totally understandable, right? No one wants to share their losses. A lot of people, when you ask them, they'll mislead you, right? I get some of these people in some comments and they say, I've owned German cars for 15 years and never lost money on Audis. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe that's occurred, right? It's a very rare case, and I definitely do not want to provide people that advice, right? If me personally, I traded BMWs myself for 10 years and never lost money, I wouldn't say that's the norm, right? I wouldn't advise normal household people, dads, moms, you watching this video, that is what you can do with BMW, Audi, Mercedes, because you can't. There is a way you can do it, right? That person probably, if they haven't lost money in recent times, which I think is probably false, but let's say they haven't, the way they would have done that is they've learned the hard way, guys. When you buy your first BMW, Audi, or Mercedes, you learn the hard way that you lose money, right? You buy it in the market and you think, like you buy a Toyota, you think to yourself, okay, I've paid X amount. I should be able to sell it for a couple thousand less tomorrow. No, you can't, right? It's going to go for much lesser than you think. And that happens to everyone when they buy a German car. It's just the nature of the beast. So that's number one, guys. The number one thing they don't tell you is how much money they lose. Number 2 is maintenance and repairs. Okay, guys, a lot of people, German car owners especially, when you talk to them, they don't highlight, again, the maintenance and repairs they've had to do. And again, I think that is a fair part of human mentality, right? Why do you want to share your losses with random people that you meet? And, sometimes even close ones, right? If they're not your family, if they're not close friends, a lot of people are not going to share their losses that way. But the truth is that if you buy a German car new, a lot of your maintenance is covered through service plans and things of that nature. Any repair is covered through warranty. And really, German cars today are excellent within that warranty period. I think even up to 7 years, pretty much all of the German cars, Mercedes is lacking a little bit, but I think even most Mercedes models are going to be okay. Even high mileages in that first warranty period, German cars have become really good at it. And the reason I'm applauding them is because there was a time when they weren't good at it, right? BMW especially, the N54, the N63, the S63, S65, S85. Actually, the S65 and 85s, not so much. Definitely the N63 and N54 were terrible during warranty periods. They couldn't make it out alive. I'm commending the Germans because they have come really far during their warranty period. But outside of warranty, guys, it's the same issue. Okay, it's the same as it's always been. A lot of them have improved, but German parts are expensive and repairs and maintenance is very expensive and labor is expensive on German cars. And people are not going to share that with you. And you talk to a lot of people and they'll say, yeah, it's been great ownership, but guys, it's costing them thousands of dollars. And I didn't realize until I bought my BMW, and I spoke to other BMW owners, and then they told me, oh yeah, to get my battery done, it cost me $800. A lot of them lose heavy money, right? They take it to the dealership. So a lot of them will pay like $4,000 for tires. These run flats can get really expensive. Or if their head unit goes, people will pay $4,000 to get it fixed from a dealership. Actually, it's even more in Australia. So a lot of people will do it at the dealers and they won't even reveal it until you get your BMW and, you're kind of part of the club, and they'll say, yeah, these are these vehicles. That's the price of ownership. Number 3 thing they won't tell you, guys, is everything that glitters isn't gold, right? A lot of people own these German cars and guess what? They're prisoners to it. Okay, a lot of people, they own their BMWs, Mercedes, Audis, and they're outside of the warranty period, and they've depreciated heavily, very heavily. No one wants to touch these cars, right? They've lost so much money in them, and these guys have put so much repairs and maintenance in them that it doesn't make sense to get rid of their car. Sunken cost fallacy, I'll just keep the car for a while and keep it running. It's already worth nothing, right? Now, to you, people will say and look like they're having a good time. They've got that nice Beamer, there's an X5 in front of me over there, and those things always stick out. But to you, it looks as if they're having a good time. They're driving a good whip, but that BMW, Mercedes, Audi, it's not worth even a RAV4, right? Deep down, they wish they had a RAV4 probably, because you could sell a RAV4 and, get yourself a newer BMW, a really nice car. But that X5, X3, Audi, Q5, whatever it is, those things are worthless, guys, right? After a certain amount of time.